Hi guys, it's me Karen, and I'm going to be doing a picture in the Fairy Tales, and it's by Emelie Oberg. I think it's Lidehall, Oberg. And I'm going to be doing the mushroom page here. And the mushroom page is going to be for Passionista Colorista Isabel's color along called Color Me a Mushroom. So we've got two mushrooms here. They happen to be little houses, but it'll fit in with her color along. So what I'm going to do is get my pencils out and get you down so you can actually see the page a little bit better and what I'm coloring, and we will get started. Okay, we're going to start with the mushroom tops. They're both going to be the same color variations, kind of a reddish brown on the top with a little bit of yellow. So I pulled out Mahogany Red, Henna, Pumpkin Orange, Raspberry, Pale Vermiliom, and Sunburst Yellow. I will leave all these pencils down in the comment box down below so you will know what color they are. I will try to remember to read them off as I'm using them. So we're going to start off with the Mahogany, which is 1029. We're going to start on this mushroom over here first. We're going to add in a little bit of it over in this area. We're using very light pressure just to map out the colors that I'll be using. I may throw a brown in here too, just to give it more shadowing. Okay, so this is going to be kind of a dark area here, and then I will probably put in a little tear over here to go up. I will darken that with black. But I like my mushrooms to look a little bit real. Probably stick one over here too, give it a little bit of a curve, and then one over on this side. Okay, something like that. And in this area here, it'll have to be a little dark. So we'll lay in some color there. Again, light pressure. Just kind of mapping where I want them. I'm going to go over these because I'm going to color them in a darker color. And the red will just give it a nice contrast. Okay, so this whole entire edge is going to be a little dark. Down in here is going to be a little dark, but also here is going to be a little dark. There'll be a light in the middle. This edge will be dark. We'll bring it up. We'll kind of give a little wrinkle in there. And give a wrinkle down here too. Okay, we're just starting to build up the colors. So mapping this one out, then we'll bring in another color and map it out. We're going to kind of leave the top kind of lighter. So the next color we will bring in is the raspberry, and we'll just kind of go over. Okay, I'm going to bring in, this is 90% cool gray, and I'm just going to be putting it down on the edges and kind of bringing it into the mushroom. Kind of using a light pressure except for right at the edge where I want it the darkest. I'm going to do it up here. Where we put our little tears, so we're going to add those back in. Not that you can see them now, but we will in a little bit. Darken that edge, and then we're going to darken this one up here. This is kind of light pressure, just so I can get the color down in there. And then we just kind of lightly blend it back into the mushroom. Come around the window. Okay. Kind of taking my time on it. It's a pretty big piece. Not a small little mushroom. It's going to be mostly a focal point, so I want it to look good. Okay, kind of wanted that indented a bit, so we're just darkening it under here and letting it look like it raises up with the mushroom. Okay, then we're going to bring in the brown again and just kind of blend that a little bit. So we're going to go with the, I don't know, we're going to pick up a burnt ochre and just kind of blend that a little bit better. little wipe here, and then we're going to take in a blending stick. You have the Caran d'Ache blender here, and we're just going to lightly pressure and blend all those colors a little bit better. If you put too much pressure on this, it'll lighten everything up, I noticed, so just a light. You can use any blending stick that you prefer. Wipe off any excess. Excuse me. Just making sure everything's blended and I don't have any white spots coming through. Okay, now we're going to take a little black, and no pun, it is a little black, and we're just going to go in the corners. We want it just a little darker. Any lines you want to bring out, like our little cracks that we had in here, if you want to put them back in, you can. I turn this pencil a lot because there's always going to be one sharp edge on it somewhere. And I want to get close to that line without going over it. So I just turn it till I get to that sharp point. And there's our mushroom tub. Now I'll be doing the same thing for the other one, except we have a different window here. Going to get a little of this off. Not much, because I'll get into my line where I put down. So back in with the black a little bit here. Don't even know if you can see that one, but we're going to bring one in over here. There we go. Okay. Now down onto this portion. Okay, it's always fun to try to figure out the gills of mushrooms in coloring books. Usually they are darker underneath with some light coming through on the areas in real life, depending on what mushroom you're looking at. But because we're a coloring book and we have to decipher, this edge doesn't come over, and these actually are up above, and the mushroom cap comes falling down over the top of those. We, as colorists, get to have our own opinion on what we're going to do. So I'm going to add some darkness down here, coming up, and then I'm going to leave a portion of it light. But I have to kind of put a little darkness up here. Number one, because I did go over the lines with a darker color. So it's going to be kind of an interesting piece. But we're going to start down here with the dark umber. And just kind of put in a line. And lighten it up coming up. And we'll go up here and we'll bring some of it down. Keeping it dark, just kind of under the lip there. Then we'll do that on all of them. I'm going to leave a little space here so it's darker on the bottom half and then lighter on the top. And here it'll be darker at the top where it's next to this line, and then we'll bring it down on this side. Just to be consistent. And do that on all of these from, say, this side over. This side over is going to be down the opposite. And this is pretty light pressure just to get the color where it's supposed to be. Okay, well, while I'm here and chatting with you, I didn't want to forget, but Fashionista Colorista, who is Isabel, on, I don't know if you all know her, but she has a podcast, and she did interview me for that podcast. If you would like to go to her Instagram page, there's a link there to the podcast. I don't know how to put it into my channel or anything. Told you I'm not very techy. But if you'd like to listen to that, support her, learn a little bit more about me. We talked about distress inks and how I started using them. She has lots of podcasts from color book artists and other color tubers. You can check those out too. And you can check out her YouTube channel. Okay, we're getting to the other side, and this one seems to be closest to the center here, so I'm just going to switch the side I'm going up and the top color here and just come down on this side. and make it darker on this side. Okay, just keep working on this. Covering up any of that color that we had gone over the line with. Almost done. We'll do these little ones first and then go up and do the other one. Kind of blend that right into the top of the mushroom on both of these sides, so it blends down a little better. And then make sure it's the darkest on one side or the other of the mushroom. We have a shadow coming, I would assume, from somewhere, and it's kind of coming this way, but I'm going to make this side of the mushroom a little lighter, so I'm going to darken this side more. That's just putting more pressure into that color as it comes out. And then just kind of filling it in a little bit more than the other side. Okay. Then we're going to bring in Sienna Brown and basically do the same thing. Just bring that color over a little bit more. So we're starting to lighten it up a little bit there. Okay. Switch sides again. It is okay if you go up into these lines up here. You're using a light pressure, so you're not going to color into the top of the mushroom, but kind of gives you a little more leeway not to be so careful. Just make sure you get it all the way around the bottom down there, because we're going to bring in another color. So depending on how bright you want your mushroom, you can bring in a yellow tone in here. You can bring in a cream tone, just something in the light colors. You could even bring in a neon if you want kind of a really glowing mushroom. A couple of things you can do. I'm going to bring in the Sunburst Yellow more so down at the bottom base here. Then I'll bring in some of the cream up towards the top. If you've watched my channel, I do more muted tones than bright tones. But I have seen some absolutely gorgeous mushrooms that have been done that have the glowing effect on the bottom. I'm done with the neon colors, and then they do a dark background, and oh, I wish I could remember her name. I've seen her do a couple of them. Just gorgeous. Okay, I'll get this last couple of these done. Feeling this video will be this one mushroom. The other one's going to be done the same way, so you can just do the other. You can do the mushroom in a different color if you want, but I'm going to do them the same. This is cream, and I'm just going to bring it in and kind of blend everybody together. So I'm using it as a burnisher and a color. So we're just going to bring that right up to the other side. Okay, so you go down on all the colors first, and then just bring it up lightly to the line, or a little bit of from the line, because we're going to also bring in a little white. And the white is in a different pouch. Two colors I use the most, if anybody's wondering, is white and black. They're not even colors, they're shades, but those are the ones I have to replace all the time. So we'll just bring a little of the white, and we will take it right up that line. And kind of burnish it down a little bit. So it gives that line just a little more definition than it does with the cream. So that's how these are going to be done. So up with the cream. We'll also bring in a little bit of the Posca or a white gel pen, and we're going to add a lot of detail with that too. So yeah, this is a lot of pressure I'm putting on this just to blend these colors. Make sure they're all blended well. And if you don't think they are, go back in with the last color that you used, or a color that you used at the top. We're going to darken this line up a little bit more on the one side. Okay, so it'll look like that. Just to kind of give it a little bit more definition from the white that we're putting on the other side. Just make it stand out a little bit more. But you can always come back in and add. And if you think it's too harsh, just bring it back in the cream color and knock it back a little bit. And then you add in the white on the other side of it. Just brightens it up. Tiny little details. Kind of make everything pop. But that's how it's going to be done. I probably will darken it down here too, because I want that a little darker. So anyway, you play with these any way you want them. Get them the way you like. And if you have a special way of doing your mushrooms, that you prefer, let me know. This is just the way I do them. And everything I do is just to inspire you to do your own coloring. I mean, I do tutorials. If you'd like to follow them, that's fine. But please feel free to change the colors up or do something different. Make it your own page. Or if I use a color scheme you don't like or pencils that you don't have, just use similar colors in the set you have or change them up completely. And darken that just a little bit more there. So basically I'm just holding these 3 pencils in my hand and going over the areas until I like the effect it gets. Burnishing, darkening, and lightening in different areas. I have a feeling I have to do something here because they're not blending well at the top, but that's okay. We'll go back. With a color and darken that up a little bit. And back in with white. I'm going to wipe that up. Okay, that's probably what I'll do. Just kind of feathering in a little bit more of the dark brown up here at the top. Oh, it doesn't look too bad. Nope, I'm going to do the shading down here first. Go back in with the brown. Sorry, I'm not talking. Concentrating, number one. Just trying to finish this part up. And then we'll do the bottom of the house. I have to feather this in up here too. Then we will take a black and we're going to go around the edge up here just to make it darker. And we're going to come down the one side. Up. Down. Just like that. If you want anything darker up here, you can just add a little tiny bit of the black and pull it down. So every line I go over. Okay. Just darkens it up. I'll do the other side later. But I do all the lines. Put a lot of layers of pencil on there, so you have to make sure that they all get blended in. Or defined back when you're done blending everybody in. Okay. Like I said, I'll do the other half, but that's how they're going to be done. We're going to start working here. This is going to be just a little bit easier than the top because it's the house part. So we're just taking the brown colors. We're going to go in with, and I got to find my brown again because I had them separated out. Dark Umber, dark brown, Sienna Brown. And we might bring in the cream, but I'm not sure. But at least these three colors. So we have the Sienna Brown 945, dark Umber 947, and the dark brown 946. So if you put them in numerical order, you'll get your shading. So we'll start with the dark umber and just kind of go with the lines here. There's a shadow underneath the window. Hopefully we are in frame. So around the window towards the bottom, we want to put the dark color. We want to have a dark color coming up from the side here. Down from the bottom going up. and around the door. Up the other side. Okay. Oh, piece of color there, sorry. Next color is the dark brown, kind of basically going over that color that we just put down. And I think I'm going to pick some striping here. We've got another piece over here I missed completely. So we're going to put some color on here and then lighten it up on the other side. So we will just do that on all of them like we did up here. All the way to the top up here. These are going to be colored in black, so I'm going to leave those alone. Window here. Window here. Okay, then we're going to go in with our lightest shade, which is the Sienna Brown. Going over everything, and then just pulling it in. Leaving a space when you can. Okay, then we're going to bring in the cream. I have another color that's not cream. Off-white or something. I don't know. What is this one? Eggshell. It's not quite as yellow. So I'm going to bring in Eggshell. Put that in there. It's going to burnish everybody up. Okay, we're going to go back in with our dark brown. And with heavier pressure, kind of bring it back in there. So this, we're just kind of using the pencil that's already down there to blend the dark brown back into. So we want it darker under the window, and then we'll bring it down into the other color. Putting pretty heavy pressure on this to get it to blend or smoosh it into the other color. And the top of the window should be a little darker too, so we're just gonna add in a shadow there. Okay. Blend it back in a little bit. And this is our eggshell. I'm just going to darken it under there because it's going to be black and I want it to have a little bit more shading. Around the door I want it to be darker, so I'm going to bring that up. And around the windows. This also is going to be painted black, so it doesn't matter if we go into that, but it will bring some of that shadow down. Up this side. Hope that is all in camera. Sorry. And then we're just gonna go over and lighten a few more spots, blend it in again. I'm gonna bring in a little white. We have a window here, so that's why, if you're wondering, this is lighter. The window light's going to come in, and we'll add a little, probably some yellow in here to have a glow. Just highlighting the one side. Have the shadow under there again. Didn't get it under the window. Want the shadow under the window. And on top of the window. And the other thing we're going to do is take the black and come back in and accent those lines again. Then I went over. We can darken the bottom of the mushroom too, around those berries, around the leaves. And then I just bring it up, blend it in. Go around the door, the windows. Okay, so that's our last little bit. So just redrawing in all the lines. It makes all the difference because of the pressure I put down. I want to see the lines. So we just add them in and add a little more depth into the mushroom. You can make them wider, narrower, blend them right into the brown that you have in there. Any way you want to do it. Just adds a lot to the picture. And you know me, I like to add depth to my pictures. Okay. I'll probably keep playing with that a little bit. But we have this little top knot to do up here, so we're going to get that done. And we're going to add a couple of colors in there, so I'm going to just use the dark brown and the brown sienna, kind of give it a little bit different look. So we'll just put the dark brown in here. And because I used it up here, you can use that to blend a nice sharp edge. Okay, gonna leave this area a little lighter. Bring that brown out a little here. And then down into here. Remember, those are gonna be colored in black, but these little loops have got to be brown, so we'll add just the dark brown in there. Okay, then we will take in the brown sienna over the color we just put down and bring it out a little bit more. And into the little loops here. And then we'll bring in the eggshell. And just shade that in. And then with our two colors, the light, it's just Sienna Brown, not light Sienna Brown. Just put a little more. In there, and then the dark brown, just add on the other side. And then we will bring in the black and go around this edge. Bring that in. Redraw this line. Just add it in there a little bit. Bring the eggshell again. Just blend those colors in a little bit better at the top. Okay. I'm banging the pencils around, sorry about that. Then I will just take my black pencil and we're just going to fill these all in black. You can do this with a gel pen, a artist pen, any pen that you prefer, a ballpoint, Sharpie. Just make sure that when you are putting down your ink on the book, you've done a test page so that you know that your ink won't bleed through to the other side. take that black and go down that line too. This is pretty heavy pressure to get the black to be a solid black. You should have a piece of paper behind this page too, so you're not bleeding the colors through here. I should do that. Okay. You can bring that black line right up into the black now. So if you have any in the corners or in the edges there, you can just bring it right up into that line. Kind of make it all blend together. Okay, guys. So that's it for part 1. I will do the windows in the second video. So the window frames and their glowing counterparts. So next time when I come back in part 2, I will have the base done on this mushroom over here. It's going to be done exactly the same way, same colors. So the underside will be like this, the top will be like that, and brown will be on the base. And I'll leave all the windows for part 2 when I come back. We'll also try to do some of these leaves and the berries and maybe get a background in. I'm hoping. So thank you guys for watching. If you like these videos, you can subscribe if you haven't already. If you have, thank you so much. I really appreciate all your comments and your support. Ring the little bell for notifications if you'd like to see more videos. And I will see you in part 2. I hope you all have a wonderful day and take care. Bye now.